Hello everyone, today I'm here to review Season 1 of Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again, the sequel series to the Netflix show and the first Daredevil show on Disney+. I'm very excited to talk about this. It'll be a non-spoiler review. For context, I love the original Daredevil show. I haven't watched it in years, but when I first watched it, 2021, 2022, I thought it was fantastic, so I couldn't wait for this one. It's definitely an interesting show because they shot the first batch of episodes and then didn't like it that much. So they got a whole new team of showrunners and directors, kept some of the old stuff, filmed some new stuff, so it's kind of two different shows kind of tied together. So that's one interesting piece of context when talking about the season, but without further ado, let's get into things. And just to start with some of my criticisms, there's definitely points where you can see the difference between the two shows. The original show, the visuals aren't as strong, the colors are a little more washed out, a little too much backlighting, and like the show overall has some very strong visual moments, especially in episodes 1, 8, and 9. But I think any episode that is clearly mostly from the original version, the visuals are just okay, especially not up to the quality of the original. And another issue is sometimes the side cast doesn't fully work. There's definitely some great new people. I think Heather has some interesting moments. I really enjoy BB Urick. I like Kingpin's new aide. I thought Muse was pretty cool, but there's definitely some people like Cherry or just various random assorted characters who just don't really feel like they're fit in. They mostly feel like they're there for Matt to talk to and less to be actual characters. So and definitely with, a lot of the main side cast of the original show missing for most of this one, it definitely feels frustrating because the original side cast is so good and they're not always here. But and there's definitely occasionally moments where the plot feels like you can see the distance between the two shows, but I don't think it's too bad. But on to the pros. I complain about that, how you can definitely kind of see the difference between the original show that didn't want to be a continuation and the new show that does. But on to the pros. First off, I think whenever they do tie things together, it is really fantastic. I think there's a great character arc for Matt Murdock in here. We get to see him at his lowest point at the start of the show, and we get to see him try to avoid who he is, but eventually, it's Matt Murdock, and this is a Daredevil show. Eventually, he has to be Daredevil. And then meanwhile, we have a very similar arc going on with Wilson Fisk, and he's trying to be the mayor, trying to play it straight, but, eventually he's got to be the Kingpin again. I think those two storylines and how they play out, how, their character moments and decisions, and how it builds up to episode 6 and then the finale, fantastic. I loved how that played out. So interesting and well done. There's a lot of very strong action sequences and moments, specifically in episodes 1 and 6 and 8 and 9. I love whenever they did bring back characters from the original series, especially Bullseye, Karen, Punisher. All fantastic. Loved them. Some cool Fist stuff. Some specific bits that I really enjoyed. The opening of episode 1 I thought was stellar. The end of episode 2. All of episode 3 I thought was very strong. Episode 4 had a great ending. Episode 4 had some great dialogue. Episode 5, I enjoyed the whole thing as a little Matt Murdock side quest. Episode 6, phenomenal last 20 minutes. Episode 7, bit weaker, but still some interesting stuff. And then episode 8 and 9, just tremendous throughout. So I think overall, Daredevil Born Again, it is an action-packed, thrilling, violent, dramatic, dark, compelling show with a tremendous cast, 2 amazing leads, a great arc for Daredevil, and I think it sets up an incredibly interesting season 2, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out, because this will be the first season entirely by the new team. And I definitely had some of my frustrations with this season's, mostly regarding the original direction of the show, but there's definitely some stuff like episodes 3 and 5, where they are from the original version of the show, and I thought they worked really, really, really well. So I think the new team did a great job keeping what worked, cutting what didn't, adding some new stuff. And there was some stuff that didn't totally work for me, some of the new side characters, but overall, I thought this was probably one of the best seasons of Marvel Studios television on Disney+. I thought it worked really, really, really well. And it's definitely a bit messy at points, but for the most part, I'm willing to forgive all that, because it's great to have Daredevil back, and I love how it all ties into his overall arc. It's really enjoyable. Ranking it among Daredevil seasons, it's not as good as Daredevil season 1 or 3, but I liked it more than season 2. But that still puts it as a very, very strong season of television. And maybe I'm ranking it a little too high right now, but I think I'd give this season of TV a good, happy, solid 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. And if you like Daredevil, I think you're going to have a good time with it too. It's not perfect, but I think it has a lot of great stuff and has potential to improve. So anyway, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.